What's going on, Paisanos? V here, and today we have another deck analysis video. Me playing, obviously, Shaddoll Invoked, my baby, versus my opponent who's playing a Dragon variant. Not the standard Dragon variant, but nonetheless a Dragon variant. Very interesting game. And I wanted to let you guys know, before I start, actually, let me ask you a question. Do I do these videos showing me, or should I just get rid of me, this screen right here, and just do the video just me talking over it and us discussing whether or not, the plays I made were correct or not. And this is basically me analyzing my match. I played this matchup yesterday at the core TCG locals. I had gotten permission from my opponent to both stream and record this match, which I'm doing. And we're going to go ahead and go right into it. So, real quickly, I just want to let you guys know my opponent activates Chaos Space, and I immediately have to Ash it. And the reason why I have to Ash it immediately, even if they have triple Texas talents, is because that card is too big of a plus for our opponent. So even if they have talents, you have to run into it, which kind of sucks. But there's not much you can really do with that. Like, if your opponent has talents, they have talents. There's nothing you can do. You have to Ash it. So that's what I did. I have 4 cards in hand. My opponent's looking at his looking to see what he got. He's just trying to get a good idea of what to do from here on end. Once again, 4 cards in hand, and he's still gonna go into full combo. For the most part, I'm not sure if there was more. Obviously, there's more he definitely could have done, but this is definitely gonna get him there still. So we're gonna go ahead and see him activate one of his cards to bring out Rocket Tracer, quick launch. And I mean, there's nothing else. I don't think I have anything else. I might have my Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, I think. But for the most part, right now, I'm thinking, okay, we're playing against Dragon. I Ash his Chaos Space. Please don't make a big board. Please don't make a big board. So we don't know right now. I honestly don't know if he can or cannot make a big board. Right now, we're just going to go ahead and see him start doing his combos. And you really never know with Dragon Links. One Ash could be enough to slow them down. Then again, they can play Triple Texas Talents, draw 2, and pop off on you. You just don't know. So that's why, and you always gotta hang in there whenever you're playing Shaddoll Invoked. Like, I could have easily screwed him, like, oh, yeah, full combo, I'm done. Yeah, it's me just getting permission, asking my opponent if it's cool if I can stream this match. Just making sure. I always forget, but I always try to remember it's of course stream this and ask him and whatnot. And luckily, our opponent is really cool with everything. And that's a good thing about, like, remote duels and streaming. He has someone Ash, by the way. Majority of people that I play against, for the most part, are going to be cool with streaming. And if they say no, it's no big deal. I know chat can get a little aggressive on my opponents sometimes, but just, hey, listen, if the guy just want to do it, the guy doesn't want to do it. But luckily for us, opponents, yes. So he has someone Ash Blossom Joy Spring, which is a really weird play, but he needed to make this play in order to, which, I mean, once again, I'm okay with my opponent summoning Ash. And I guarantee you they are, because they obviously want to, go into combo, which he's going to go ahead and do. So what we're going to see right now is him still just popping off. I'm looking at my hand. Double check. This is where I would Phantasme, but I don't have that Phantasme. Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought I had Phantasme, but evidently I didn't. I definitely get the Ash. I have 4 in hand, and I'm just trying to analyze this board. I'm trying to see what can my opponent go into, because it's really important to see what goes in the graveyard. It's really important to see how many cards are in their hand. And what are their available options? They're checking for that, and so am I, because why not? I look at my hand, and I'm going, okay, cool, I'll check it out later on. Oh, that's what I want to say before. Against a Dragon matchup, you never really want to just immediately scoop. And the reason why is because you could top deck a super optimization, and that would immediately put you in the driver's seat. So why would you want to scoop something in which you have an opportunity to come back and win that game? So that's why I opted to just wait it out, just in case. And I don't think we drew the super optimization, but we still managed somehow to break our opponent's board, luckily for us. And once again, he's just going over all the plays. And this is what, good plays do. They, excuse me. they think about a bunch of plays ahead. They go into it. And then what they're going to do is they're going to stop and go, okay, are we still on track? And they're going to just reanalyze the situation, and then he's going to go back into it again. If you guys saw me on Twitch, by the way, if you don't check me out on Twitch, links will be down below. But I said, good players really always want to be analyzing. They always want to understand the business they're in, and they want to try to maximize the best places possible. And if it takes a couple of seconds of thinking, that's no big deal, because this is what it takes to give you the best chance of not misplaying. So This is why, I mean, besides the fact that we have 44 minutes left on the clock, this is why I totally get it. Like, he's playing Dragon Links. He does not want to see a turn 2. He definitely doesn't want to see a turn 3. And he absolutely does not want to see a turn 4. So I totally get why he's just trying to figure everything out. And this is a very interesting build of Dragon Links. I've been told this is Shunping's. I can't ever say his last name right. Sorry, buddy. But I've been told it's Shunping's build that runs some spicy tech, and we'll show you guys in a second. And this is a totally different version. It doesn't run the Dragon Maid package, by the way. And for the most part, this version looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. I was kind of shocked that we Ash our opponent. Our opponent's hand was not pretty much that good. I mean, quick launch is not bad, but if you're summoning Ash, your hand can't be insane. But our opponent still managed to make an insanely good board. Another thing I want to know, his playmat looks amazing. I'm not sure what year Spellground that is, if that's a 94. I really don't know 100%, but that is a beautiful looking playmat our opponent has. So once again, they're just going through the motions of the plays. I think they kind of got it locked down at this point. He's going to go into Rusty Bardiche. He's going to go ahead and get access to one of his Fan Night Trap cards. He's going to send Boots, add a Fan Night Trap card to his hand. That's going to immediately set. And, I mean, not to his hand. He's going to immediately set. He's going to banish Boots, get the other Fan Night Trap card, put that bad boy down there. He's going to end with 2 of those, by the way, set face down, as well as the board, which he's still working on, by the way. He's not even done. He's just, here's 2 Monster Negates, and I have more for you. And I'm sitting there going, okay, we can do this. We can do this. We're playing Shaddoll Invoked. My deck is built, designed to not only create boards, but break boards. And that's why I don't play, like, as many bricks as... I know there's a variant where I ran, like, a Dragoon package. That's not bad, but it's not my ideal package. People are saying, in my videos, because I read all the comments on all my videos, people are saying, V, why don't you run Ice Dragon's Prison? Because I can't use it turn 1. It does nothing for me, you know? He's going to get Savage Effect. He's also going to go ahead... And this is crazy. I mean, he's going to go ahead and activate... Abominable, I can't ever say it. Abominable, right? Unchained monster. Not, is it Soul? Anyway, which is gonna allow him pop his Silver Rocket. Definitely take a card of my extra deck, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what he takes on my extra deck, to be honest with you. But it's definitely something that I need to pay attention to, because in game 2 it will matter. I don't think it matters in this game, but in game 2 I think it's definitely gonna matter. So he's gonna go end phase, pop Soul Rocket, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to show my extra deck, which kind of sucks. The reason I did it like this, by the way, in the bottom, if you look at the bottom, the reason I did it this way is from his angle, he sees it right side up. So, he's going to be able to see everything, and I pretty much wanted to grab the Starting Venom because I knew he was going to take it out, but he still wants to understand what my extra deck is, so this is why I'm going to show him everything. But he's ultimately going to banish my Starting Venom Fusion Dragon, which kind of sucks now, because I do top deck Suapali. I'm going to have the dedicated body on board in order to have that Suapali be active. It sucks, but at the same time, it's not the worst thing to happen. Because we still have to get to 2 Monster Negates, a Borer Load, and on-chain, more likely popping cards. Also, he's going to be our Rocket Tracer. This is, once again, an insane build. And I love his sleeves, the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship sleeves. Hopefully Konami, with the upcoming YCS, we see more of these sleeves, because these are really nice sleeves. Alright, so, we go. We have a hand of 5 cards. Our opponent has no cards in hand. We know their exact board and exactly what they're trying to do, and it kind of sucks. But we're going to play still, because there's still an opportunity, there's still a line for us to win. I say it all the time. If there's a line for us to win, I'm going to ride that line until I know the chances of me winning are just non-existent. So I'm going to immediately activate Magical Meltdown, and this is definitely, my opponent says later on, this is definitely where he should have negated the Magical Meltdown, but he let it go through. And the reason why, I mean, it's hit or miss, because if you negate Meltdown with Borer Sword, cool. All my other extra deck, all my other, yeah, Omni Negate's gone. So he's actually holding it. I'm going to go ahead and add Astral to my hand. And that means every time I Fusion Summon, he can't realistically respawn, which is a big deal. So he's currently just trying to get everything figured out, see what's going on. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, add Astral to my hand. I think I have Invocation in hand already, because why not? We play Invoked. So, with that said, I'm just going to summon Aster. Activate Effect. Go ahead and slap your trap card face up. You have to. I'm baiting you. And there's nothing you can do about it. And that's what he's going to do, of course. He's going to go ahead and activate his Fog Blade on my Aster. It's definitely the correct play, by the way. Even though I'm baiting him, he has to make this play. I'm going to go link into a... I know, once again, the zones are kind of whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, if I really had to, I'll just swap on the other side. Me and my opponent are just super focused. I think on his... From his angle... So if streamer looks like this, but on his angle, I'm doing the opposite side. So just take that as you may, guys, okay? I'm not trying to do this on purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and activate Shaddoll Fusion, and I'm just going to get immediate value. I'm going to go Shaddoll Fusion, I'm going to bring out a Construct, Chain Link 1 Construct, Chain Link 2 Hedgehog, I think. I might have messed up the chain links, to be honest with you. We're gonna figure out in 2 seconds. I don't think it actually matters because he has a fog blade. I think that's what I'm realizing. That fog blade is actually a big deal. But it is what it is. Like, I have to bring out the construct. Yeah, chain link 1 construct, chain link 2 hedgehog. If he flips up, so now he can't Boral Sword me. Actually, he can't even fog blade, can he? What am I saying? He can't even fog blade because of Magical Meltdown. Well then. I actually forgot about that until just now. That's the thing about, like, Magical Meltdown. We don't play with this card besides this deck, so it's very unique. So I'm constantly catching myself. My opponent when I was going, oh yeah, Meltdown, and I go, oh yeah, Meltdown. It was anything on purpose. Once again, I totally know his board. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to get an understanding of what I want to do to my opponent. Obviously, break his board. Obviously, get rid of those trap cards in his graveyard. Okay, because they're definitely going to get him more value. So I'm going to go ahead and set Shaddoll Fusion with Construct. So Construct goes away. That's why we put an extra monster zone. We're going to get Shaddoll Fusion. And now his Borderless Savage Dragon is not in a good spot because he can't stop them. I don't think he can stop his Construct in the graveyard. We're also going to be sending Dragon to the graveyard, I think, right? It's Dragon and Aria. I think I'm just debating on which one. I have 2 in hand. I might be going also for Beast to gain more advantage. I'm going to add Squamata. What am I saying sending? I'm going to add Squamata to my hand. The reason why it's good to add Squamata to hand in this situation is because it's generic. You can also add Wendy. It doesn't really matter, but I like Squamata because Squamata will allow you to go ahead and extend your place. Once again, I believe I have Invocation in hand, so I'm not in a horrible spot. So we're double checking the attributes in his graveyard because I do have Invocation in his hand. I'm basically signaling my opponent I have Invocation, but there's nothing he can do about it. Once again, with Meltdown on board, he can't do anything with Invocation, like against my Invocation. He can't preemptively activate like Mind Crush. I'm like, Invocation. He can't because he doesn't have it. We know what he has. He has said Fog Blade. He has active negations on his Borderless Savage Dragon, and I'm trying to basically play out of the situation that I'm currently in against him, which isn't easy. So I'm going to be getting rid of my Alistair with Invocation. And I'm debating still what to remove. I'll ask him about fusions because I was thinking about going into, not Abcalon, oh my god, into Ogoides. And what I think I went up. So I'm going to Alistair Mechaba, and I'm going Alistair and So I'm going Artemis Alistair. I'm actually going to Mechaba. I'm gonna get value by adding that Alistair back to my hand. And this is just me, once again, me just putting my opponent down on the amount of cards he can activate and use. I mean, the minute I brought Mechaba, I go, okay, here's what you need to stop with your Phantom Fog Blade. And I have my Mechaba, which I'm going to swing into your Borderless Savage. If you negate and destroy it with Borderless Savage, which is not a bad play, I'm going to get an advantage still. So it definitely puts him in a really, really awkward position. And once again, we're still breaking through his board. We only got through 1 negation so far. We're still not done yet. But we definitely have a line in which we can make our opponent play cards against their will. So I'm going over to attack, figuring out the Unchained Abominable 3,000 attack points. And I'm trying to basically see what I can do. I can go into Predator and like Conde. The problem with going, and I'm double checking that by the way. I'm seeing, since I have everything got, since I have my Storm Grand Fusion Dragon gone. So I think entering Battlefield is definitely the correct play here because what we're trying to do is just break his resources. Now I could Unchain Abominable, and I know some of you guys would go, V, you should have, but I really wanted that Shaddoll Fusion to proc. So my construct's attacking us into Borderless Savage. So I want, like, no matter what happens, I'm in a great spot. He uses a negation, my Borderless Savage, my construct gets Shaddoll Fusion. He doesn't use Borderless Savage, my construct procs. That's insanely good. I also have Alistair in hand. That also, puts me up there pretty well. So we're in a really, really, really good position right now. And he's just trying to figure out, does he negate? Does he activate the Fog Blade? And I mean, once again, this is something that definitely is going to take time to figure out. This is a really big play here. And this will determine whether or not he can't even do anything. So he's gonna go ahead and activate Tracer Effect immediately. I have 3 cards in hand. So, by the way, I have Call by the Grave in hand, and I'm just double checking to make sure he has another Tracer in Graveyard, which he does. So, we're going to immediately Call by the Grave, which is big because, which is huge because if I was not if I was not able to do that, his Unchained Abominable would have been a big problem for me. So he's gonna go Chain Link 3, activate Fog Blade, and he's gonna put that on my construct. Once again, that's not that big of a deal. I'm kind of okay with that. So his Bordel's 40-50. That's his current attack, and that means my Mecha Book can't get over it. So kind of sucked, but we had to do it like that. So I'm gonna have my Mecha Book more than likely attack into his other monster, his Rocket Tracer. Just to, once again, break down his resources. We got through 2 Fog Blades, we have 1 Negate left, and Abominable to deal with. That's all we have. That's it. So we got rid of his Abominable, so there goes the chance of him popping on us, which is great. I had to get rid of my Alistair, but... Now, I like this play a lot, by the way, because what I just did was, I can't go Pseudo Poly into, obviously, Starting Vision Fusion Dragon, but Construct can get me the Shaddoll Fusion, which he lets go, as well as I have Predator and Predator Anaconda. I'll be honest with you, I think he should have negated the excuse me. I think he should have negated the Shaddoll Construct with Borlord Savage, but he lets it go through, which once again is huge for me. Because it's all about gaining resources. And not my Anaconda. My Anaconda, by the way, is still going to send another card to the graveyard. That is still going to resolve. It copies the effect, not the restriction. So if I want, I could do double Shaddoll Fusion. We'll see what I do in a second here. But basically, I'm going to go into App Clone because I'm looking to punish him. Well, punish his graveyard, I should really say, because he still has 2 Fog Blades in graveyard. I don't know if it has any other Fan Knight monsters, and I really don't want to find out. His Tracer isn't as scary for me, but... So we're just trying to figure out what he has in graveyard. I want to see if there's anything else he can utilize. We already called by the grave his Rocket Tracer. I'm immediately hitting those 2 traps, 100%, because I don't know if there's anything else he can go into. He has a Chaos Space as well. And that's what we're going to be getting rid of it in 2 seconds, because that Chaos Space can get him more value, and we're just stopping him from plussing. We're stopping him from getting that value. So that's what I'm going to be hitting, his Chaos Space. That is definitely the hits. I think if I had to even rethink it, I would do it again. I don't know if he has any more access, and I don't want him to gain any more access. So anyway, we're going to set we're going to have Shaddoll Beast get sent face down. Shaddoll Fusion is going to fully resolve. His Borderless Time is negated. His Rocket Tracer is out of gas, and he has no cards in hand. We're in a phenomenal spot. Then I'm going to go ahead and activate the effect of Predator and Predator Anaconda. I'm going to pay 2 light points. Once again, I'm in a really, really good spot. We're cruising here. And I think this is where I have to send Shaddoll Fusion. Oh, Super Poly. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and send Super Polymerization because I just want to get rid of Borlo because Borlo does have a lot of attack. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to send Super Poly and we're going to Super Poly away into a window, I believe, right? And he just groups it up right here. Because I'm going to go in the window. We have App Cologne. I was about to draw a card. I would have had 2 cards in hand. He would have had 1 for his turn. So he's going to go ahead and pass turn. And I mean, that's basically, you know, luckily for us, we broke to that board. Definitely him, not negating the Magical Meltdown was huge. And I felt like had he negated the Magical Meltdown, there's a more good a chance he might have actually won that game, to be honest with you. Because my chains wouldn't be able to resolve fully. He would have been able to respond to my fusion summons. And more than likely would have got me. But you really don't know because, I'll be honest with you, my hand was built to have that go through, you know. But there's other hands I could have had where I could have had like Shaddoll Fusion. I could have had, obviously, more extenders. So by not negating the Magical Meltdown, it definitely put him in a better position. But ultimately, I think had he done it this specific game, there's a chance he could have really won and maintained resources. I mean, that's a real option he definitely had. So we're going to go ahead and side. And once again, you see me siding right there. I got my 6 right there. I'm not taking it out to show my opponent. I mean, I guess I could. I mean, that's the thing I could say. Let's do that. It's nice. But I'm taking it out because I'm figuring out what I want to... Yeah, I'm basically taking out my... I'm going in for 6. The average side in this deck is 6 cards. Minimum 3. Highest 9. Average is going to be about 6 cards. You don't see me 6 card side a lot. I'm looking through my options. Once again, do I play Dark Rule no more? Do we play Talents? Do we run Lightning Storm with the Harvest Felester to clear his backward that we now know his deck can use? It's a really hard situation, and I don't know fully what I decide into. Hopefully we'll see some of that during this match. But ultimately, I'm definitely thinking of the fact that it's a Dragon Link deck, but it's not the Dragon Link I normally know, so I can't side like I normally side against Dragon Links. We know he's playing the PK package, which means there's a chance he's playing Dragoon. So if I had to guess what I would have decided in this match, I'm more likely I would have threw in triple Tactics Talents, because if he did have Dragoon, and I got hold of that Dragoon, the game's going to be over. So that's definitely, I think, a place of the cards I would have sided in. For the other cards, I really don't know. It's either like maybe like Nibiru's if I had to guess as well, because Nibiru would have been pretty high impact against him. We saw in game 1, once I Ash Blossomed him, he said screw it, and he went full blast. And if I had Nibiru that game, the game would have been over for him. But once again, we did our side real quickly. We're gonna do our 6 shuffle. I always do a 6 shuffle no matter what. I used to do 8, but once again, I've been told that 8's not the number, so 6 is the number. So now we're doing a 6 shuffle. We have a little bit less than 28 minutes on the clock. We have plenty of time. Game 1 was a bit of a weird game. Once again, he had 1 turn, I had 1 turn, and after that, the game was over. The Icebreaker deck just went through and did it again. So he's gonna cut in half. I'm gonna do top 5. It's about an average cut for Yu-Gi-Oh players. He's gonna have me do top 8. So no big deal. We're doing a top 8, and we're getting ready. He's obviously gonna want to go first. Because if he doesn't go first, he's gonna get hit with a Winda. And if he doesn't have to answer a Winda, the game ends for him. So he knows that. So once again, he's gonna go first. Makes perfect sense. Had I had opportunity, I would go first, so I could put that Winda on board. Excuse me. So he's gonna start off the game, and I look at my hand. I have 5 cards. I'm pretty sure I have Phantasmic in my hand this game. Anyway, he's gonna summon some rockets. He's gonna go into his Striker Dragon. He's gonna definitely get that field spell, and that field spell, okay, that field spell's a problem, and I know it is. Whenever I play, if you saw me on my last video, I believe the video before that one, I immediately made a beeline to get rid of that field spell, because if that stays on board. And I think in this game, you'll see it too. Like, he's gonna get so much advantage for free. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to go after that field spell. I think this game I don't go after it as aggressively, and I really wish I did, because there was a line in which I did. I think it would have put me in a better position. But he's going to go ahead and use Quick Launch, bring his monster back, go into Dragoon Romulus. Now, once again, I'm thinking the whole time, you got to think of the possibilities. Normally, going to Dragoon Romulus could be like yesterday, where our opponent just used it to keep bringing his monster over again, back up every time equipped. Or is he going to some kind of weird Needle Fire player? I really don't know. This is the first time I'm playing against and seeing a Dragon Link build that's running this kind of Fan Night package. So he's going to go into the field spell. He's going to pitch Boots pretty good. Setting Obstinate effect on Boots, obviously going to allow him to get advantage. So he's going to get Soul Rocket to his hand. And I'm just trying to analyze. I'm trying to see. I'm pretty sure I have Phantasmic. I'm trying to see when I could jump in and drop my Phantasmic. Can I do it on 2 or can I do it on 3? I know the Rhombus is the 2 link, so I think I should be able to do it on a 2, because if he puts another body board, he goes Appaloosa on me, and then I'll never get my Phantasmic, and that makes me sad. So he's gonna special summon 2 monsters out with his rocket field spell, and he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna go link away, and then it quickly links away again. I would have done that too, but the minute I see this, I go, okay, now I'm definitely, because he like linked away and went, oh, link this one away, and I can't. You know what? That's totally fine, but I'm getting that Phantasmic. So Phantasmic will let me draw 4 cards, and once again, 4 cards on a Phantasmic on turn 1. That means I have 4 cards in hand, and I drew 4 cards. Do you understand why Phantasmic is amazing in this deck? So I'm gonna cycle in a bunch of cards, but I'm gonna basically sculpt my hand to the perfect hand. And obviously he's gonna be scared. You'll see in a second what I mean by that. By me doing that. And every player in their right mind would be, because that's a lot of cards I just got in on. That's a lot of cards I just saw that it's a big deal. So he's gonna go ahead and activate LP. So we're gonna go ahead and see what he brings out. Once again, I think he's trying to go into as much value as possible. Having Phantasmic on board is also a huge deal, because if I don't get my extra hit again by Silver Rocket Dragon, that puts me 1 card closer to bringing out Starting Venom Fusion Dragon basically for free. So, and this deck can easily do it once again. Summon Astro effect, add Invocation. That's 2 bodies. That's Predator, Inverted, and a Conde. So he's still going in. And once again, if I had Nib, and I sided Nib in, by the way, I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I took out the, my Lances and went for Nibs. That would have been the Nib play of the day. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go in and grab my Nibs. Our hand isn't as amazing, but then again, we did Phantasmic for 4. Do we really get to have the right to complain? I don't think so. It would have been cool if I had Nib, though. But it is what it is. I'm kind of okay with the ability to Phantasmic for so many cards. Okay, so he's still working on his plays. He's bringing out a Rocket Tracer. And I don't have Cold Battle Grave this time, so that's pretty good. That I believe so. Okay. He's still going through all his combos. And once again, I'm sitting down trying to analyze what he's trying to do and what board is he trying to make. I'm obviously turning into my hand to my left. This is my screen over here. And I'm keeping an eye on the time. Because if we are going to go into game 3, he has a very long combo. And I don't want the game 3 to end in a tie. I think this will run round 1 as well. So basically, I'm trying to figure out, is it time, how much time we have on the clock, looking at his combo, seeing what he has, seeing the available cards that he has in hand, which is 3, checking his graveyard, and here he is, he's stopping his play. He has a lot of options. He has a bunch of doors in front of him. He needs to pick the right one to get him to the right part of his combo. So this is what he's thinking about. And once again, he has a ton of options. I think, because there's a lot of things you can do here, I think he doesn't go and apt to make anything like a seal play, but he kind of makes almost a similar board like he made in the previous turn. So we're going to go ahead and watch that happen in 2 seconds. He's still going to get access to Solar Rocket, which is a big deal, but not big against our deck. Solar Rocket's a great card. Against our deck, that's alright. You stop me from having my active Super Poly, so my Starting Venom Fusion Dragon doesn't really do much against you. No big deal. But I still have all access to a lot of the cards, and we saw last game what happened when you got rid of my Starting Venom Fusion Dragon. I still said, okay, I'm still going to Predator, Inverted, and a Conde, because that card's insane. So, once again, he's going to go ahead and check over all the available plays. He's going to take a quick second to gather himself. He's going to double check, analyze his graveyard. This is what good players do, by the way. They analyze all the avenues. Graveyard, hand, field. They see my board. They see how many cards in my hand, which is 5, obviously. And he's going to go, okay, now I'm going to pull the trigger. Maybe he'll double check one more time, and then he'll pull the trigger, and you'll see him just do it like he's doing it right now. And he's going to hit the gas, and he's going to go full speed on his deck. And, he's going to go ahead and start going to, like, Rusty Bardiche. He's going to link away his guys over here and go into... I always forget the Borrelord guy, I think his name is. I'm really bad with names. Guys, comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. And then he's going to go ahead and, once again, continue into his plays. And this is huge. I mean, he's basically doing almost the same kind of play he's doing before. And I don't have Nibiru. Unfortunate. I don't think it would matter. Maybe it would. Maybe it wouldn't. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. But there he goes, again, doing almost a similar kind of play. He's going to go into On-Chain Abominable. He's going to go to Borrelord Savage Dragon. He's going to put that Rusty Bardiche on Borrelord Savage Dragon, which you see right here. And I'm sitting there going, yep, he's doing the same exact play, and I don't blame him. It's a phenomenal play. 2 back row face-down cards. I'm hoping that other card in his hand is not Ashbox from Joy Spring. That would probably end me, if I had to be honest with you. I think so. So... He's basically saying, hey, man, just get rid of the Starting Venom again. And I'm like, dope. Less than 21 minutes on the clock. And we're going to go ahead and see how I break this board if I can. So, he's going to bring out Rocket Tracer. So now his On-Chain Abominable can actually pop a card. Really relevant and important. So, once again, he's just going over what he has. I think one of the cards I have is Magical Meltdown. I'm going to activate it, and I know he's going to negate it, but I have to do that play. I have to bait that Borrelord negate. There's no way around it. And by going Magical Meltdown, and him knowing if that resolves, he's in a world of hurt, he's going to immediately rush to negate it. So, once again, this is what I'm doing. I'm analyzing. I'm asking how many cards in his hand. I'm asking about his graveyard. I'm trying to get as much information as possible. He showed me there's 1 card in his hand. And I'm trying to see, okay, those are 2 negates. He has 1 on the negate, and he has a pop. And that's a scary board. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do to break through his board. Because if I could do it again, it's going to put me in a great position. Now, I feel like I play this game a little bit sloppily, and we might talk about that in a second. But I'm immediately going to go Magical Meltdown. And he has to negate it with Borrelord Savage Dragon. He has to. There's no other way around it. Oh, but here's what he does. So Tracer's going to target his Rusty Bardiche, which is going to obviously allow him to proc his On-Chain Abominable. Now, here's the thing. I'm still going to get a search with Magical Meltdown, but it's going to get popped. Meaning, he still maintains value, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is definitely. I told him, I said, this is definitely something new. I'm not used to. I didn't see this build yet. Unfortunately for him, he didn't have a rocket target. Had he did, that'd be huge. And he's explained to me, hey man, listen, if I had another rocket, I could proc on Chain Abominable. That's a huge play. And once again, it's locals, so it's whatever. It's locals. I don't care. I'll be honest with you guys. When I play locals, I'm playing for me to test against my opponent. I want to learn what my opponent does and other variances of their decks. And I also want to obviously just play at the best capacity. And it means my opponent messing up, no big deal. It's really not. I don't care. I know people who watch me on stream and they go, V, the guy's cheating you, he's sharking you. He's not. We're just trying to get the best game state we can possibly do. So I'd rather have that than have my opponent misplay and we go, oh, you can't do it. Like I just, it's not the kind of guy I am. It's not the kind of player I am. Had it been like a extravaganza or the upcoming YCS, yeah, I'd have been like, oh, that sucks. Dude, sucks to suck. But once again, I if you watch me in my stream, once again, check out links down below. For the most part, I'm very lax when I play against my opponent. They make a mistake. Unless it's a game-changing mistake that's going to make me immediately lose, I don't care. Because they're still trying to do everything. I think my opponent said he just recently got this deck. And I recently got this deck and play this deck. That's insane. That's amazing. I don't think I can do it as easily and effortlessly as my opponent can do. Okay, so we just hit the 18-minute mark, and I'm going to put my monster in attack mode. And I really don't have anything other than put the monster in attack mode as far as that. But we have to see what else we can do here. I mean, obviously, Phantasmic can help me negate. I'm going to go ahead and summon my Alistair. And here's where I felt like I got a little sloppy. I'm not sure. He's debating what he wants to do. He has 3 ways to negate this card. And I have Phantasmic on board, once again. Which, if you guys don't know, Phantasmic allows me to discard a card to negate cards that target cards on the field. Monsters on my side of the field. Negate and destroy. And he's still double-checking his play. But he activated Fog Blade. And I should have went for the negation with the Phantasme. But I decided to go Suapali. Which is not bad. Once again, it's not a bad play. But I could have saved the Suapali for some other cardboard. And you'll see in a second why I felt like that was a huge, huge mistake. So I'm going to get rid of his Warlord Savage Dragon and my Alistair. I'm going to go into Invoke Caligula. Now, this is a phenomenal card in this matchup. Because, well, not in this specific matchup now, but normally it's a phenomenal card. Because basically what this card does is it slows the game down. And my opponent doesn't want that. Once I bring on my board, then they see Wunda, it's a pain. Wunda Caligula, now they need Dark Rule no more, or else their game is done. So I'm going to go ahead and add invocation from my deck to my hand. Once again, I really felt like I should have used Phantasmic first. Let him negate it. And then chain, and then went ahead and then chain to a poly. I would have one less card in my hand, but this would have put me in an infinitely better position, which unfortunately I didn't get a chance to. So now my Phantasmic has to go to graveyard. I have to get rid of my Caligula because I can't do anything. He only has Darks in graveyard, believe it or not. So I had to go Pedifet for Conde. He still has one of his cards live, his Rusty Bardiche. I'm sorry. He still has one of his trap cards live. And I know it's one of his trap cards. So I'm still seeing all my options. Once again, our hands are not bad, but there's definitely a better line of play we could have done. I could have made him use that second trap card. Unfortunately, I didn't. So that to me was a huge misplay. And he's going to capitalize on that, obviously. Any misplay in this kind of matchup gives an opportunity for our opponents to not only capitalize, but end the game for us. Because we're trying to maintain as much advantage as possible. And by making a misplay, my deck immediately... And I saw what I did. My deck immediately punched me, which kind of sucks. But anyway, let's not dredge on it too much. I already feel bad as it is. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring out Erasure. It's the only monster I can get. I'm going to get rid of his Romulus. I'm going to go ahead and add back Alistair to my hand. So that's actually pretty relevant. And I'm just debating on my line of play here. So Rocket Tracer has 1,000 defense, so we can easily be able to get over our opponent's Rocket Tracer. And we're going to have 4 cards in hand. I really... anyway. I hate dreading on that play, but that play was a big deal for me. Because I feel like there was a huge line I could have done, and I just didn't do it. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the effect of René Conde. Obviously, this is where he uses his Fog Blade on me. That sucks. And I'm just bummed out because that was a huge misplay. And I immediately knew I made that misplay. I immediately was like, yep, that's not fair. Then again, he could use Borderless Savage Dragon, but would you? I think he would use the second Fog Blade and not Bold Savage Dragon due to the fact that it's Omni Negate. How do you know I play a Super Poly in my hand? How do you know I have the Super Poly in my hand? So that's why I was like, that was a big misplay. I immediately realized it. I'm gonna swing into his Rocket Tracer, and he's gonna activate Abominable on chain, and he's just gonna immediately get value off me. That sucks. So we're double checking if Unchained Abominable has to target any face-up card due to the fact that I have my Invoked Raging. So he's gonna. So he's gonna go ahead and pop Invoked Raging, which I don't. I guess that was the play. You had to pop it actually, because any normal summon, I just book Moon immediately. So I have to pass turn with this board. Once again, one misplay, this deck will punish you. I tell it to people constantly, like, oh yeah, by the way, end phase he gets to pop my Magical Meltdown when Unchained Abominable because of effects. That sucks. Okay, but yeah, one misplay, I'm immediately punished. Ugh. It happens. It happens. So, and this is why I like doing locals, because it puts a little pressure because you're playing for something, packs or what have you. But we're also learning, and we're also figuring out what's the best line of play and how do we get there based on what our opponent has. Also, you learn knowledge about your opponent's decks in a game. I'm the kind of guy, I'm a hands-on kind of guy, so I can't sit there and go on Dueling Book and learn this deck. I can't sit there and look at the deck profile and understand every single line of play. I want to be in on the action. I now know how to play Dragon Links. I'm just still learning this matchup, but I pretty much have a good understanding of this matchup. But I now learn how to play Dragon Links more due to the fact of what my opponent, the fact of playing this matchup. Also, my opponent made a misplay. Once again, it's an honest misplay. So that's something that was, I think we talked about after, everyone talked about afterwards. It was a 100% honest misplay. Due to the fact that he had a Fog Blade on my Anaconda, he couldn't, attack my Anaconda. Once again, he's not Shark. I mean, the guy got the deck a day ago. He's still learning. I'm still learning his deck. So we're both on this kind of thing. I know, V, you should learn your Fog Blades. I get that. I totally get that. I'm still learning. I don't play Final Knights as much as maybe majority of other duels out there. Okay, so I'm gonna draw my hand to a hand. I still have a pretty lengthy hand, and our opponent is still in a relatively bad position. Now, obviously, I see him holding 2 cards in hand. I feel like he's still, there's still more he can do. Even though he did his full combo, there's still opportunity for him to make more plays. And I'm trying to understand his graveyard. I want to see if he has any more Fan Knights. I know he has a Fan Knight track card, but I want to double check if there's anything else he has. So I'm just verifying effects of Fog Blade. And that's what I'm doing at the moment right now. And I'm trying to, once again, see how many cards in his hand. See the effects. See the graveyard. I'll say this over and over again, and hopefully it doesn't get too annoying, but hopefully it drills into your brain that you need to do this as well if you want to up your game. I know people say, hey man, read your card, and that 100%, I agree. But analyzing the game state is infinitely important as well, and that's what I'm doing. I'm analyzing the cards in his hand. I'm analyzing the effects. I'm seeing his graveyard. We're going over effects together. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to immediately go ahead and activate Foolish Burial and try to go ahead and start bring this game state back in my favor. I should have had it already in my favor, but that was a big problem. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and send Wendy. Wendy's gonna go ahead and set a card face down. Shaddoll card. Which one do we set? Well, kind of simple actually. Once again, but we're going over our options real quickly. Once again, takes 2 seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and make our determination. I think what happened here, I already knew what I was looking to get, but I couldn't find it. But then we see Ariel, and then I'm like, okay, there's Ariel. So Wendy's gonna go ahead and set the Ariel, and I really like this play a lot. He's verifying effects on Ariel. Every single effect obviously allows you to add a banished Shaddoll monster. The set effect is what I'm really going for right here, because I'm going to try to go Ariel App Clone, in which I do. Once again, that spell on this, that field spell is something I'm definitely keeping an eye on. The Bomb on Chain I can't let stay on the board at all. I'm going to go ahead and activate Super Polymerization. I'm going to discard a card. We have a face down Ariel. This is not a huge explosive play, but this is definitely a play that's going to get net as some value. I sent Shaddoll Hedgehog. I'm not sure if that was the right thing to do. I should have set it face down. But then again, I might have had another card in hand. Maybe I had another Shaddoll Hedgehog. So I'm going to... So I'm just asking about the attributes. He's saying they're all darks. Whew, not what I want to hear, but It is what it is. Okay, so so look at my options. I'm pretty sure the only card I can go into is Wind. I'm just debating what I want to take away. Do we take away the rest of Bardiche? Should we take away on the on-chain Abominable? And at this point, we're going with the Fam Night guy. And then it gets banished. I should have got rid of the on-chain Abominable, by the way. Looking back at it now, I would have got rid of on-chain Abominable because I could have easily attacked into his Rusty Bardiche. But this is what I get for not respecting and learning Fam Nights. I'll be honest with you, like, I totally gotta, learn it more. And that's definitely the more better play that I should have went into. Everyone's gonna get rid of both his Rocket Traces as well as his last Fam Night trap card. I believe his last Fam Night trap card. Once again, that was a big problem for me. Because you're gonna see here as the plays go on. I mean, once again, there is better lines of play. I'm just not making them. But we are gonna go ahead and go into Gravity Controller. We're gonna activate the effect of, and he has 2 cards in hand. This is a very risky play as well, but this is what you had to do. We're gonna go ahead and summon Aster, get Aster effect to proc, and we're gonna add out Invocation. Now, the cool thing about Gravity Controller is it has a line of points to. So we want to, we can create that light target with Artemis. So I'm just debating over my options. I'm double checking my graveyard, seeing all the attributes. He says he only has dark in his graveyard. I'm going over the options I have in mind. So obviously, wins out of the equation. But we're going to go Aston to Artemis. Excuse me. We're going to go Invocation. And once again, this is not peak Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, I'll be honest with you. Game 1 was peak Yu-Gi-Oh! Game 2, what are we going to do? Anyway, we're going to go ahead and add Astro back to our hand. And now here's the thing. Like I said, I definitely made a huge misplay. And it's one of those things that you catch it afterwards, but you just learn from it. That's all you can do. So we're entering battle phase right now. His on-chain Abominables is 3,000 attack. We're gonna go ahead and use Gravity Controller and just gonna get rid of both of them. And I'm gonna swing for 25. We're just analyzing light points. That field spell is gonna put in work for him. Once again, I should have gotten rid of it, but it's making a fine line in order to get rid of it. That field spell is gonna get him advantage, but he's not gonna be able to get Rocket Tracer back, which is a big deal for us. He doesn't get Rocket Tracer back. That puts us in a great spot. Once again, he's gonna draw the 3 cards in the hand. And you'll see me do something that, and I'll explain my reasons why I did it in a second. He knows he's on the clock, and he's just trying to, once again, figure out every single play as fast as possible. And he knows he has that field spell, so he's going to immediately get advantage. He has 3 cards in hand. And I think what our opponent is trying to do is figure out what is the best route they can take in this situation, because they're not in the best of circumstances. For us, we can go into Ogoys if possible. The problem is, and my worry was, you'll see me in a second, is I'm worried if he has Ash Blossom. If he has Ash Blossom, I think we were at 1,400 light points, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure we were at around 14. If he goes Ash Blossom on my Alistair summon, that's it, we're done. I don't have any other Link 2s. He can swing over the Dragon Link monster, and our turn is pretty much scuffed. If I maintain Mechabot on board in the simplified game state, which it's definitely a simplified game state, we're in a good spot. So he's just trying to figure out all his options. We have less than 6 minutes left on the clock. He's going to activate his field spell. And he's debating, dude. And this is the thing I guarantee he's debating on. Do I Link Summon? Do I go into my extra deck? Do I risk it? Because if it's big reward or not so big reward, And it's really hard to figure out because in his hand, I think he has a Red Eyes and Red Eyes Darkness Metal. And basically he's thinking, if I banish to bring out Red Eyes Darkness Metal, will that be okay? Can I do that? You can see he's debating on Lincoln. And, I mean, it's a really hard choice, once again. So he's debating on Lincoln. I don't know if he does. I think he tries to link it to another Striker Dragon, I believe. I'm not sure, to be honest. Less than 5 minutes on the clock. He's just going, man. That because there's a line of play that rewards him, and there's a line of play that punishes him. If he leaves his monster on the field, my Mechabot's probably gonna have to attack it. So he's gonna go ahead and activate Striker Dragon's effect, and my Macabre gonna get rid of Striker. I'm gonna have to get rid of my Alistair, but we're gonna clear his board, which is pretty awesome. And that's, once again, if he has a normal summon, he has a normal summon, but I had to clear his board. He only has one, I believe, one card in hand. Oh yeah, okay, he has 2 more cards in hand. Okay. And then once again, I'm gonna quickly go on my graveyard. I'm gonna see if I have Invocation in graveyard. I know I have Alistair in graveyard now, but if I could get any more advantage from that, I'm gonna double check the time. I'm gonna double check the current game state. He has 1 card face down. I'm gonna enter battle phase. I'm swinging for 25. I need to put damage on the board, and we do, luckily. And I'm just passing turn. I'm not dedicating that Alistair summon, because the second I do, he can put a body on board, and he can literally just wreck me with it. I know he can. I know an Ash will hurt us, even though we do have Mecha, but do we have a monster? I know a Lancer will hurt us, and these are things I just don't want to be put, a position I don't want to be put in. We're ahead right now, and he is not ahead, but he does have more advantage on us, which is very scary to say. In post-turn, Dragonlings have more advantage. So he's going to activate his field spell. Get more advantage is what he's doing. And once again, I'm sitting there going, man, that field spell is really good. That's why in game 1 you saw me just immediately try to go after it, because you had to get rid of it. He's wants to double check and look, see what's in my graveyard. I think he's checking for... he's checking to see my Alistair, and if I do also have Invocation in graveyard, which is definitely the correct play here. So he's going to go ahead and bring out Red MD. And he's going to enter battle phase. And he's basically saying, do I have the Alistair in hand? And I do have the Alistair in hand. So that's going to get rid of his Red MD. He couldn't activate Red MD's effect. He had to swing on Macabre. And if he did, he... So we're going to go over something that would have happened afterwards. And this is really interesting. I like this a lot. I like plays that do this a lot, by the way. So Recharge has 2100 defense. So he's 3 cards in hand. One of them being Red MD. I'm pretty sure, because my hand was Wendy, Ash, and Alistair. I had Alistair last turn, and I was debating on something Alistair. The problem is I was at 14. And that was the, what you call it? That's what I was triggering. That was the Fog Blade. I summoned Alistair, you Fog Blade me, I'm instantly... I didn't know if that was a 3rd Fog Blade or not, by the way, so we're just figuring that out. I still would have had to summon the Alistair, 100%, I think, at this point, and activate effect. So this is theoretical play, but like this is really cool to watch. So we're just going over all the available plays. If I didn't negate, I could swing in. Oh my god, yeah, I would have negated Ash. So let's say in theory I would have negated Ash. I would have added an invocation to my hand. And he has Imperial Order set up. That is huge. Well, this is still theoretical at this point. We're just figuring out the other line of play he could have had. And the other line of play, I think, definitely would have got him there. And that's basically it. We figured out that I couldn't really link him to anything. This is a way he would have won, believe it or not. We're just trying to, he was figuring out, he's saying to himself, hey, the guy got Alistair in graveyard. When it was Alistair, I know for a fact that he would have had a top deck Alistair, which I did. And that's when he went to Red Eyes MD and swing into me. But this is another line of play I think that would have definitely rewarded him. I'm not sure if it would have won him the game. Depending on time and how everything would have worked out, but it was definitely an interesting line of play. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. I know I talk a lot in these videos, but I'm trying to give you every single thing I'm thinking about at the moment it's happening. We want to win this match. It's a great game against our opponent. And yeah, guys, I want to do more of these guys. You understand. I love this deck. Shaddoll Invoked is definitely my favorite deck. Shaddoll is my favorite deck of all time. But Shaddoll Invoked is definitely one of my favorite decks. It's definitely my favorite deck of the meta. And I'm really excited to play this deck. I'm really excited to play this deck against anything. And by watching this match and seeing a deck that we don't really know, but we know is good, and it's definitely probably about a phenomenal play. I think this guy was one of those players that played in the Konami Invitational. I mean, a really, really good play. I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. This is definitely a good matchup to see and analyze how this deck focuses on. We didn't draw power cards. We didn't draw talents. We didn't draw and Nibiru resolved it. We just played what the deck does, and it manages resources properly against a deck that has multiple negations. And this is something that if you guys are looking to play this deck, that you gotta see. You gotta see what cards can you get your opponent to use that they don't necessarily want to use if they have to, and what can you use by your deck to get you there. And this is basically what we did in this matchup, and obviously it rewarded us. Even though we misplayed a couple of times, but it's always good to see these misplays, catch these misplays, and move forward now knowing that next time we're in this position, we're not going to be making them misplays. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please make sure to go ahead and check me out on Twitch. Links will be down below. I would love you guys check me out. As well, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. I'll have more of these videos coming out more than likely every single day. And we'll learn together. So, yeah, see you around, Paisanos. Have a great day.